In the day and age that we live in today, hip hop is of commonplace not just in the United States, but internationally, with notable artists and fans all over the world. With hip hop being present throughout the past few decades, it is important to consider and understand the background of hip hop and how it became a behemoth of what it is today. I'll be discussing the origins of hip hop and how it came to be, the impact of hip hop on the nation, as well as the impact on the world. In order to understand more about hip hop, it is first important to understand its beginnings, along with where it got its inspiration from. One of the main influences of hip hop is an earlier African American music genre known as rhythm and blues, also known as R&B for short. According to an article by the American Mosaic, the definitive features of R&B are the driving backbeats, its instrumental virtuosity, and its positive energy. While not an accurate representation of hip-hop, R&B most certainly helped to set the foundation for African American music as a whole, becoming a mainstream genre, and helped to lead to the creation of rock and roll along with hip-hop. As for the hip-hop genre itself, it started during the early to mid-1970s in the neighborhoods of South Bronx, where block parties were organized at abandoned buildings and parking lots. Many blacks would get together and express their own views through a variety of mediums. According to the Journal of African American History, hip-hop culture consists of at least four fundamental elements. Disc jockeying, also known as DJing, breakdancing, graffiti art, and rapping. While we commonly associate hip-hop with dancing and rapping, there are definitely more to it than just those two components. With much of the early days of hip-hop being a form of expression from the younger generations on a variety of social issues, such as civil rights struggle, the use of graffiti art, also known as aerosol art, is one of the mediums that is used to express African American views on these social topics. According to the American Mosaic, aerosol art can be best understood in the context of African American resistance movements and communities, which have historically employed code languages and subversive tactics to break out of confined spaces. Simply put, the use of graffiti can be seen as a form of resistance or movement, one that symbolizes African Americans taking over public spaces that are typically denied to them. Of course, graffiti is only one form of expression, with many African Americans finding new mediums to express their views as well. Unlike the visual representation that is graffiti, rapping utilized the verbal form to express ideas. According to the American Mosaic, rap music is defined as spoken words delivered in assorted styles and a variety of tempos, usually rapid and rhythmic, and accompanied to music. Many African Americans start to engage in this new medium. Whilst it had started off as something that was performed underground, rap music as a whole soon gained nationwide traction. By the 1980s, there were many well-known rappers that came into the spotlight, with names such as Curtis Blow, the Fat Boys, and Run DMC, just to name a few. Today, there are even more notable rappers that are recognized worldwide, such as Drake, Kanye, and Jay-Z, amongst many more. While the style of rap might have changed over the years, the inherent value of rap itself does not necessarily change, with self-expression being at the heart of it. When it comes to the impact that hip-hop has had on the nation as a whole, it is most certainly a slightly divided question to answer, where there are both positive and negative perceptions towards hip-hop as a result of certain themes in the genre. For starters, hip-hop has influenced the United States in a way that is more than just about music. For many marginalized populations, such as minority groups, hip-hop has served as a great tool to express their own views and to speak up for themselves. With breakdancing battles and rap battles popular and an alternative form of sudden conflict, hip-hop also helped to steer many young teens away from violence, helping them lead a much better life. Additionally, with the scale that hip-hop has reached today, it serves as a way to showcase African American culture and as a way to connect to the mainstream public. However, that is not to say that hip-hop is without its faults. One of the main criticisms of modern hip-hop is the amount of consumerism in the medium. be it in the music videos, in the lyrics, or down to what the artist wears day to day. According to an article by the American Mosaic on hip-hop consumerism, while consumerism has been instrumental in bringing hip-hop into the mainstream, it also reduces black empowerment to capitalist principles, in effect, creating a new form of enslavement for black Americans. Unlike hip-hop of the past, hip-hop today is less so about social or political activism, but more so about materialistic object and goods. While such a shift is most likely a means to attain a higher level of social status, it most certainly takes away from the traditions of hip-hop. Apart from consumerism, another area where hip-hop is heavily criticized upon is with the common theme of objectifying women. This can be seen with many modern music videos where women are often sexualized. Apart from that, many rap lyrics are also filled with sexist and misogynistic themes. That is not to say, however, that there is no female empowerment in the hip-hop sphere. One of the most notable female rapper, Queen Latifah, is a great example of a strong, independent woman who tries to go against the typical sexist trends in hip-hop and to establish as strong and independent. According to an article titled Queen Latifah by the American Mosaic, Latifah was heralded as a voice for black, working class women everywhere, as she worked against the male-dominated field that is hip-hop. Due to her feminist tones in much of her music, she is looked up by many women, and most certainly helped to defy certain stereotypes and expectations that might have been falsely built up as a result of the frequent sexualization of women. Overall, whilst hip-hop has most certainly garnered mainstream recognition over the years and has become an integral part of American society, it also has its drawbacks and certain areas that are critiqued upon. Nonetheless, it serves as a medium for people to express their views and emotions, and is something that can be observed when looking at hip-hop from a global scale. From a global perspective, hip-hop has influenced the world in a variety of ways. At a glance, the most obvious influence is the popularity of hip-hop as a music genre worldwide, where songs from the genre are frequently played and listened to outside of the United States. Of course, this holds true for many American songs, given the international influence that the United States has. However, one area that hip-hop differentiates itself from other genres is the power that it has as a medium and the amount of reach that it has on a global scale. According to an article titled It's a Hip-Hop World by Foreign Policy, at the core of hip-hop is the notion of something called the cypher, which is a circle of participants and onlookers that close around battling rappers and dancers. If you're able to demonstrate your uniqueness, then you might be accepted into a community that transcends geography, culture, and skin color. In essence, hip-hop is more than a genre. It is a tightly knitted community, one that does not care about race or country borders. It serves as a medium for youngsters all around the world, be it in China, France, or Nigeria, to express their own views and experiences that are unique to them and as a result of differences in culture and nationality. While the difference in cultures between countries can result in differences from what traditional hip-hop should be, one area that does not change is that hip-hop serves as a vital progressive agenda that challenges the status quo. Throughout history and in recent times, hip-hop has been commonly used as a way to protest against certain political campaigns and regimes. One such example is highlighted in the article titled Hip-Hop and the Global Imprint of a Black Cultural Form, where Hamada Ben Amour, more commonly known by his MC name El General, released a hip-hop song named Race Le Bled that was directly aimed at the government of Tunisia during the Jasmine Revolution, which occurred as a result of high unemployment, corruption, and lack of political freedom. The song gained popularity due to its lyrics being critical of the government and gained recognition as the anthem of the revolution. Following the popularity of the song, El General was arrested. However, as a result of massive civil protests against his arrest, El General was released a few days later. Within a few weeks since the revolution started, President Ben Ali was removed, and the revolution eventually led to greater political freedom with democratization of the country. El General's influential and revolutionary hip-hop song highlights the global scale and impact that hip-hop has, along with the true roots of hip-hop, which is where the medium serves as a platform for oppressed to voice their opinions and to retaliate. From humble beginnings in the South Bronx to international popularity and presence that it has today, hip-hop as a genre has most certainly come a long way. What has started as a way for African Americans, particularly youth, to express themselves and their views has over the decades become one of the most popular genres of the modern era. While there are certain controversial views regarding certain ways that hip-hop identifies itself as a genre, it has also done much good for society, serving as a tool for the political express to voice their own opinions and views.